Hello and welcome. Today we are going to discuss Unit 1 International Business topic. We have already covered business environment in previous lectures. So let's start with international business. In this chapter, we will discuss scope and importance of international business, globalization and its drivers, and mode of entry into international business. So let's start with the meaning of international business. International means across national boundaries, and business means production and distribution or purchase and sale of goods and services. Before moving directly into international business, let's discuss the classification of business. Business can be broadly classified into commerce and industry. Industry refers to production and distribution related activities, and commerce means trading related activities, purchase and sales related activities. So, industries can be classified into primary, secondary, and tertiary industry. Primary industry covers agricultural activity, secondary industry covers manufacturing activity, and tertiary industry covers service related activities. Commerce can be further classified into trade and auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliary means aids to trade, which helps to trade. This covers communication, transportation, banking and insurance, warehousing, and advertisement related activities. Trade refers to purchase and sales of goods, and it can be further classified into internal trade and external trade. Internal trade means domestic trade, and external trade means international trade, which is our topic. And external trade can be further classified into three types: export, import, and interport. Export means selling goods and services outside the country. Import means purchasing goods from foreign country, and interport means purchasing goods from another country, assemble it and sell it to other country. Simply means interport means export plus import. Okay, now let's discuss the meaning of international business. In simple terms, international business refers to exchange of goods and services. Capital means money, human resources, technology, knowledge, etc. across countries. So, international business is nothing but exchange of goods and services. It is not limited to goods and services. Exchange of capital, human resources, technology, knowledge, etc. It covers everything if exchanged with other countries. Let's discuss what are the objectives of international business. First point is business expansion. The main objective of international business is to start business from local level to regional and expand to national level and even international level for growth opportunity. Next, profit advantage. When domestic prices are lower, the business can make profit by selling goods and services to the country where prices are high. Next, to earn foreign exchange by way of exporting. Next, optimum utilization of resources. The main objective is to produce what your country can produce more efficiently. And when I say more efficiently, it means when cost of production is less, therefore wastages will be lower and there will be more quantity of production with high quality of goods. So the main objective is to produce what your company can produce more efficiently and trade the surplus production. And last point, spread business risk. What is risk? Chances of loss. So business risk can be covered with the help of diversification. And what is diversification? Loss from one country can be covered from the profit of other countries. For example, if there is recession in India, so there will be loss in domestic market. But if we export goods beyond the nation, then the loss in India can be set off against profit from another country. Next topic, scope of international business. First point, merchandise export and import. Merchandise means tangible. In simple terms, goods are tangible products and services are intangible products. And what are the services export import? Such as communication, banking, insurance, tourism, IT sector, etc. Then licensing and franchising. These terms are used while permitting another person in foreign country to produce and sell goods under your trademark, copyrights and patents. And foreign investment by way of FDI or FPI. When a domestic company invests into the business of foreign company, we call it as foreign direct investment. And when domestic company invest into shares and securities of another country, foreign country's company, then we call it as foreign portfolio management. We will discuss both the terms in detail in coming chapters. Now let's discuss about some terminology related to international business. First point, domestic company is a company which trades within the country. There is no export and import. Next, international company. It operates from one country and exports the unsold goods and services. Then, multinational companies, which operates in multiple countries and customizes the products as per requirement of foreign market. For example, McDonald, Domino's in India. They can't sell beef product due to cultural environment. Next is global company, which holds subsidiaries in many countries. And the last point is transnational companies. Each local business has its own decision making power. For example, Thumbs Up. The production and distribution is in multiple nations, but its bottlers are from local market. Let's discuss some advantages of international business. First point, business expansion. As we have already discussed that the main advantage of international business is a business can expand from local market to regional market to national and international market. Next, employment generation. To meet the requirement of overseas customers, the producer will produce more and more production requires more employment. Next, economic growth. If production increases, then GDP also increases, and more GDP means more economic growth. Next, new product innovation. International business helps to enter into new market where competition is already exist. To survive into competitive market, the business organization need to regularly innovate the products. Next, large scale production. The business organization need to utilize the available resources at large scale. So there will be large scale production and distribution. Technological knowledge. If technologies are transferred from another country, then along with technology, they have to provide technological know-how also. So there will be technological transfer and knowledge transfer. Then export earning, because the domestic producer will earn foreign currency. And next point, brand building, because the business will gain reputation into international market. Next topic is globalization. Meaning of globalization. Globalization refers to the process of integration. Integration means to come together. So the process of integration of world market into one large market. So there is no geographical boundaries or national boundaries. Let's discuss features of globalization. First point, technological advancement. Due to globalization, rapid innovation in technology is possible. Capital mobility. Capital means finance can be mobilized from one country to another. Investment can be done from one country to another. Similarly, labor mobility, human resources such as employees and workers can be mobile from one country to another. Improved transportation due to rapid growth in logistics, there is improved transportation. Reduction in trade barriers. Trade barriers are the government restrictions on quantity and quality of goods and services export and import. Next, narrowing difference between national and international market. Due to globalization, it becomes very easy to purchase and sell goods and services and to make any transaction from any part of the world. Now let's discuss drivers of globalization. What are the driving force of globalization? Innovation in communication, trade liberalization, global supply chain, multinational corporations, internet and digital transfer. Apart from these drivers, there will be lower tariff and non-tariff barriers. Then LPG, economic liberalization, which was introduced in the year 1991. It means removal of all the unwanted trade barriers. So these are the driving force of globalization. Before learning about the modes of entry into international market, let's discuss about the factors to be analyzed before entering into new market. So these factors are competition level, expected return on investment, and SWOT analysis. Now let's discuss modes of entry into international market. First point is exporting, means production in home country and selling it to foreign market. It is the oldest mode and easiest way of entering into new market. There is no risk involved because there is no investment required, and exporting can be done by two ways, either by direct export or by indirect export. Direct export means there is no intermediary required, and indirect export means there is export of goods and services through any agent or distributor. There is a involvement of intermediary. For example, India exports agricultural goods, cars, etc. Next is licensing. It is an agreement between two or more parties to use goods and services. In simple terms, licensing means granting permission by one party to another. There are two parties involved, that is, licensor and licensee. Licensor is a person who grants permission to use goods and services, and licensee is a person who pays fees to use the product. For example, for example, software license agreement, trademark, copyrights, patent, or research collaboration. Then franchising. Two parties involved, franchisor and franchisee. Franchisor is a person who establishes trademark and branch system. Franchisee is a person who pays fees, and there are two part of fees. One is initial fees, which is one time fee payable at the beginning of the contract, and another fee will be royalty fees. It is payable for right to do business under franchisor. So initial fees is payable for one time and royalties are payable regularly. Now let's discuss some characteristics of franchisee. First point is royalty. Royalty is a fee is given by franchisee to franchisor. Then licenses. When franchisor gives approval. Then training and development. When franchisor provides training and development to employees to make uniform production. Then policies. Both the parties enter into agreement. Then marketing and technological support, which is provided by this franchisor. Next is joint venture. It is a temporary business between two or more parties, which is known as co-venturers. So parties to joint venture is called as co-venturers. It is a temporary agreement between parties for specific target for mutual benefit who have complementary business such as goods and services, money, technology, expertise, etc. For example, Maruti Suzuki. Maruti is an Indian company. Suzuki is a Japanese company. Both companies came into joint venture in the year 1982 and started production of car. Similarly, ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company is an example of joint venture. The main objective and features of joint venture is business expansion. The domestic company can get customer from foreign market. Then joint venture can be short term or long term. It is cost effective in nature because both the parties have expertise in their respective market, and investment and profit sharing ratio will be considered at the time of agreement. So there will be higher capital if both the parties bring their own resources. Then merger and acquisition. Both the terms are different. Merger means when two or more companies comes together to form new company. For example, A limited company and B limited company. There are two different types of companies, A limited and B limited. Both comes together and form AB limited is an example of merger. When both the parties comes together, merges and creates another company. For example, Vodafone Idea. Vodafone is an international company. Idea is an Indian company. Both came together and framed Vodafone Idea. And what is acquisition? Acquisition means acquiring assets and liabilities of another company. When one company purchases or take over assets and liabilities of another company by minimum of 51% share, then it is called as acquisition. Here also minimum two companies are there, A limited and B limited. Both the companies are old companies, and now A company acquires the assets and liabilities of B limited company. Now new company is A limited company. Earlier, in the case of merger, A and B limited both were old companies and AB limited will be the new company. But now A limited, B limited both are old company. A limited acquires the assets and liabilities and business of B limited company. Then there will be A limited only as a new company. The live example is Tata Motors. Tata Motors take over the assets and liabilities of Land Rover and Jaguar from Ford in the year 2008. So it is an example of acquisition. Then what is contract manufacturing? When a foreign firm hires local manufacturer to produce their product or part of the product. For example, Apple company. Apple company purchases mobile screen from Samsung company, or Apple purchases the processor from Intel. Now they've started manufacturing M1, M2, M3, M4 chip, but earlier they were purchasing processor from Intel. And the main benefit is reduction in cost of production. And last point is turnkey project. It is an agreement to carry out project which includes design, create and equip. So it is an agreement to carry out the project which includes design, create and equip. When project is completed, they shift the project to the purchaser. For example, turnkey hospitals. It means building a complete hospital or medical center with installed equipment. So we have completed modes of entry into international market. So today we have covered scope and importance of international business, globalization and its drivers, and modes of entry into international business. Let's start with the MCQs related to international business and modes of entry. First question, what are the objectives of international trade? Sales expansion, diversification, maximize competitive risk, both A and B. Correct answer is D. Both A and B are the objectives of international trade. Sales expansion means increase in exports as we enter into foreign market or international trade. The export will increase. Increase in export will increase the sales. And diversification, it means entering into new markets so that loss from one market will be set off against profit of another market. So both A and B are the objectives of international trade, but C is not an objective of international trade. It is a disadvantage for the international trade. Next, a global company is sometimes called joint stock company, a corporation, a globally integrated company, or none of the above. Correct answer is globally integrated company. Next, which of the following are engaged in external influence? External influence and external influence means external environment. Political policies, legal practices, both A and B, neither A nor B. Correct answer is C. As we have discussed in external business environment, it can be further classified into two categories, micro and macro environment, and both of them are covered under macro external environment. Next, international trade brings developing countries in contact with developed nations, underdeveloped countries, low developed countries, or all of the above. Actually, correct answer is D, all of the above, because international trade brings developing countries in contact with all the countries, whether it be a developed country, underdeveloped, or least developed countries. But the most appropriate answer is developed nations, because developed countries have advanced economies, established market, and greater purchasing power. So correct answer is A. Next, foreign exchange reserve includes gold stock, US dollar, both A and B, neither A or B. So correct answer is C. Both A and B is a part of foreign exchange reserve, which is kept with central bank of each country. In case of India, RBI is the central bank, so RBI has to keep forex reserve in two terms, in gold stock as well as in US dollar. We will discuss about this in detail in upcoming session. Next, foreign trade helps each country to make use of its natural resources optimum, loss, better, none of the above? Most appropriate answer is optimal. Optimal means use of that quantity, only use that much quantity which is required and don't use extra quantity. So there will be less wastages. So correct answer is optimum utilization of natural resources. Which of the following are the major objectives that engage companies in international business? To expand sales, correct. Export increases, so sales also increases. To acquire resources, correct, because the meaning of international business is exchange of goods and services, resources, capital, technology, etc. So correct. B is also correct. To diversify source of sales and supply, correct. So correct answer is D, all of the above. Next, more companies operate internationally because new products take time to become known globally. More companies operate internationally because new products take time to become known globally. Domestic companies, competitors, supplier and customers have become international. Both A and B or none of the above. Correct answer is B. Domestic companies, competitors, supplier and customers have become international. Next, additional risk that has to be taken care of while trading across nation are exchange risk, country risk, both A and B, or neither A nor B. Correct answer is C. Both A and B are correct answer because there are different types of risk such as market risk, price risk, exchange risk, countries risk. So country risk is also called as global risk. And while trading across nation, all the business organization come up with these two types of risk: exchange rate risk, which is also called as currency risk, and country risk. So correct answer is C. Next, enjoying comparative advantage for a country means having opportunity cost of domestically producing commodity than other, lesser, greater, no, or none of these. Having a lesser opportunity cost of domestically producing commodity than other country is the correct answer. We will discuss in comparative cost advantage theory, the theory of international trade, in which it says that if there are two countries, country A and country B, then which country will produce which product? If there are different commodities, commodity X and commodity Y are available, then we will discuss that both the countries will produce that commodity in which they get lesser cost of production or less opportunity cost. So correct answer is A. Next, which of the following statements are incorrect? Remember, they have asked which of the following statements are incorrect. Enter port trade means sale of goods to foreign country. No, it is export. Selling goods to foreign country is called as export. And what is enter port? So purchasing from one country and selling to other country is called as enter port. Means export and import both collectively called as enter port. So A is incorrect. In let's check other. Import trade means sale of goods to foreign country. No, purchasing goods from another country. So both these statements are incorrect. So option C is correct answer. Which combination of the following factors has driven globalization in the recent past? Growth of MNCs, correct. Internationalization of finance, correct. Increased international trade, correct. So all of these are correct statement. Which of the following is the type of exporting? Direct exporting, indirect exporting, both A and B. Correct answer is C. Both A and B is correct answer. There are two types of exporting as we have discussed: direct exporting and indirect exporting. Direct exporting means directly selling our goods to other country. Selling the goods to uh, foreign trader or foreign customers is called as exporting. Indirect exporting means there is an involvement of intermediary or distributor or agent. So business organization exports goods and the goods and services will reach to customers. If they sell directly to the customer, then it is called as direct exporting. But if they trade through intermediary or agent or distributor, there is an intermediary channel between businessman and customer, then it is called as indirect exporting. Business export goods to this intermediary and this intermediary will sell goods to their customers. So correct answer is C. There are two types of exporting, direct and indirect. Which of the following cannot be an advantage of licensing? So licensing is a mode of entry into international market. It has low financial risk. It avoids tariff. Both are advantage, and we have asked to identify which of the following cannot be advantage. It means they are asking us to identify disadvantage of licensing. It has possibility of creating future competitor. Correct answer is C. It is not an advantage of licensing because licensing doesn't affect competition level. It does not stop or create future competitor. So correct answer is C. It is not an advantage of licensing. Next, which of the following statement is incorrect? Franchising is a part of licensing. It is incorrect statement because licensing and franchising both are different. Licensing is a mode of entry into international business. This is correct answer. Both A and B. So incorrect statement is A. So our option is A. 15th. Which of the following is incorrect? Franchising is a part of licenses is incorrect statement because both are different and both are a mode of entry into international business. Which of the following are not included in modes of entry into international business? Exporting, licensing, importing, and franchising. Correct answer is C. C is uh, not a mode of entering into international business. It is It is one of the characteristics of international business, but not a mode of entry because we do not enter into foreign market, but we purchase goods from another country. So mode of entries are exporting, licensing, franchising, or contract manufacturing, turnkey project, etc.